So I'm Gabby.
And I'm Shanna.
And we're 27 Travels.
And this is another episode of Slice of NYC.
So if you've never seen Slice of NYC before, we're aiming to visit every single neighborhood of New York, and we're showing you one shop, one restaurant, and one activity you can do in each neighborhood.
And we're giving you guys these tips because we are locals, we're from New York City, and we have all the best tips and all the best little secret spots that maybe you guys don't know about.
So today we're filming in Sunset Park!
So in every Slice of NYC episode, we give you guys 3 facts about the area that we're visiting. So I'm going to tell you guys 3 facts about Sunset Park. So the first fact is that Sunset Park actually got its name from a park nearby in the area, but it didn't actually get its name until the 1960s. Up until then, it was just called South Brooklyn. So the second fact is that Sunset Park is known for being very diverse culturally. They actually have the biggest Chinatown in Brooklyn, and they also have a really high population of Latinos and some of the best Mexican food in the city, which we are going to check out later. So the last fact is that Sunset Park is actually home to a very historical monument and also one of the oldest cemeteries in the country, which is Greenwood Cemetery. Greenwood Cemetery was founded in 1838. At that time, it was the second most visited tourist attraction in North America, which is crazy for that time. And we're actually gonna go visit it later, so we're gonna tell you guys a lot more facts while we're there, but just know that it's very popular and there's lots of famous people buried there.
So our shop for this video is Industry City. Industry City is a bunch of different buildings that are kind of like a marketplace filled with different stores and restaurants and cool graffiti spaces and artist installations. Like, we really love coming here. This used to be all warehouses and it was super industrial, but now it's just this really cool area that's been fixed up a lot and just has a lot of different events and things going on all the time.
Places to come to in Industry City is Japan Village. It's basically this little like food market with restaurants, and they also have like a shop that has a lot of Japanese food, which me and Gabby love coming to because it's really local, as in like local Japanese, community local, but they have a lot of stuff that you can't find anywhere else, like in a regular grocery store. So we love coming here and walking around and getting a little bit of that Japanese culture. So I'm stocking up on my favorite ramen because it's my favorite food in the whole world. I think I mentioned it in another Slice of NYC video that ramen is my favorite food, but this is my favorite one to make at home because it's vegan and it's very spicy and delicious. Gabby has something in her hand that she wants to get. What is this?
These are green tea cookies. They look so delicious. I can't wait to eat these. I ate them in high school all the time. So for our restaurant today, we're going to Tacos Matamoros, which is an amazing Mexican restaurant. And Sunset Park is actually really, really well known for its Mexican food, so we can't wait to check it out.
So I got Boing, which is some kind of soda-y juice drink, but I got guava flavor, and Gabby got watermelon water, which is delicious. And they already put hot sauce on our table, and it looks really spicy.
Can't freaking wait.
Can't wait.
Also, this is the best thing ever. I wish I could make this at home. Not even kidding. I got a vegetarian burrito and I'm so excited to eat it.
Looks so good. And I got 3 veggie tacos with no cheese and no sour cream. Can't wait. All right, Gabby, what do you think of your burrito?
Wait a minute.
All right, Gabby, what do you think of your burrito?
So delicious. It's super authentic and so good.
Tacos are delicious, very authentic. Definitely tastes like the tacos we had when we were in Mexico. And I'm just gonna have to dig in and have some more, so we'll see you guys in a bit. Okay, so that was some of the best Mexican food we've ever had in New York. I'm so glad we went to that place.
Yeah, we're not even kidding. I was immediately like, Shanna, we are going to have to take the train and come here all the time because it's not that far from where we live and it is so good and so affordable.
our activity for this video is Greenwood Cemetery. Now, Greenwood Cemetery is one of the most historical places in Brooklyn. It was founded in 1838, so we're going to be exploring today. There's a lot of historical facts here about New York City, about Brooklyn. A lot of famous people are buried here, and we just cannot wait to go explore because both Gabby and I have never been here before. To be able to film here, we need to get permission, which we did get from the person who is in charge. So if you do want to come here and film, you have to just make sure that you get permission beforehand.
So this place is super cool. There are graves everywhere and really old historic graves, even of famous celebrities. Something Shanna and I wanted to mention is whenever you're visiting someplace like a graveyard or a cemetery, make sure that you're doing it respectfully. You want to respect their space, especially if they have relatives that are coming to visit. You just want to be respectful of it. So this is a historic site, and a lot of the graves date back to before the Civil War or even the time of the Civil War, so people from the Civil War are even buried here.
Yeah, this is a grave of someone who was a sergeant in the Civil War. So crazy. If you notice, we're kind of walking uphill, and Gabby and I did a lot of research on the cemetery before we visited because we wanted to have all the facts, and we learned that the reason why it's so hilly is because back in the day, this was a glacier that melted and basically now formed all of these hills and stuff. So like we're standing on an old glacier.
That is really the coolest fact ever.
Oh, and also the Greenwood Cemetery is the highest natural point in Brooklyn. So I guess, since the cemetery was around, they have built probably buildings and skyscrapers that are higher. But we are at the highest natural point in Brooklyn right now.
Empire State Building has nothing on this.
So I just mentioned the glacier thing that I found online, but it's actually also here in this little informational sign. So see, I wasn't lying.
18,000 years ago is when that happened.
Holy cow.
So crazy.
So the monument that's behind us is actually to honor 148,000 US soldiers who fought in the Revolutionary War. Kind of crazy, right?
Shanna and I think that this picture is super interesting because like nowadays this whole view is just Manhattan. You can see like all the skyline buildings, but this drawing is from back when like Manhattan didn't have all of the big buildings and skyline that it does today. And you can even see where the cemetery was. There was no cemetery and just like open land, people were living here.
So that was the view in, what does it say, in
1847.
In 1847, this was the view, and this is the view now. All those buildings.
And the Statue of Liberty is in the distance.
One of the coolest things that we were really excited to come see in the cemetery is a statue of Minerva, which is right there. I believe she is a Greek or Roman goddess, but the history behind her statue is really cool.
So basically the statue was created to commemorate freedom. The Battle of Long Island basically declared America's freedom from the British. So in case of New York, it became an American territory. And so the statue is actually locking eyes literally with the Statue of Liberty and waving to her to basically commemorate our freedom.
And the idea was actually from an Irish immigrant named Charles Higgins, and he owns this plot of land where the statue is built on. He thought that the battle was so important that he wanted to commemorate it because it does give Americans our freedom. So that's why the statue was on his plot of land. Like if you come here, like even the camera cannot do it justice. Like the Statue of Minerva is literally waving directly to the Statue of Liberty, and it even says like that her eye, that the Minerva's eyes are locking the Statue of Liberty. Like it's so cool.
So cool. So definitely something you have to come see, especially if you're a history buff. This would be exactly the right thing for you to come check out.
Other Doctor Who fans in here think that if me and Gabby blink, we're gonna get turned back in time, like a weeping angel.
Don't blink. Don't even blink. Blink and you're dead. Don't turn your back. Don't look away, and don't blink.
Are you blinking?
I'm not blinking.
You just blinked.
I can't. I'm dead.
across this very beautiful statue, and we just learned about it by reading that plaque. So Gabby, you want to tell everyone what we just learned?
Yeah, it's actually interesting. This statue is called Civic Virtue. It was acquired not that long ago by the Greenwood Cemetery, so it hasn't been here the whole time, but it has a crazy history of basically being created as an allegorical Greek mythological sculpture. But then throughout history, throughout the 1900s, on and off again, people thought it was sexist, and then they thought it was like not sexist, and then they thought it was sexist. So there was so much controversy that the city actually couldn't keep this up because people thought it was so sexist, that it wound up being put here just to kind of stay here because it still has historical value. So it's really interesting.
So what is sexist about it is that this is a man who I guess is from Greek mythology, but he's actually standing on top of two women who are chained to him.
Yeah, I think you have to get it from the other angle.
Yeah, I'll go walk around. Okay, yeah, from this angle you could definitely see better. So that is the Greek mythological man, and then these are two women who are like chained and shackled, and he is kind of like stepping on top of them.
Clearly, it's nice to know that women since the 1900s have been considering this one sexist, but you know.
So what do you guys think? Do you think it's sexist or not? I feel like we're gonna spark a very big debate here. So that's the end of our Sunset Park episode of Slice of NYC. Thank you guys so much for watching. And as we said earlier in this video, we are aiming to visit every neighborhood of New York City, so there's gonna be plenty more episodes coming your way.
So don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.